Hey podcaster, I'm Tim Wahlberg, your podcast performance coach, with another actionable tip so you can sound like a pro and gain more podcast fans. Today's tip is tap into the power of streeters. What are streeters? You probably know. It's when you go out and talk to people on the street and get their opinion on a subject. We do this all the time in radio, and I'll tell you why and exactly how to pull it off in just a sec. But if you want to see a show strictly based on the streeter concept, watch Billy on the Street. Billy Eichner is a comedian in New York, and he's got a YouTube series called Billy on the Street. He's outrageous, he's hilarious, but we can't all be Billy on the Street. So why would you want streeters or man or woman on the street interviews for your podcast? Well, one reason is it finally gets you out of your stinky podcast studio and forces you to wear pants and talk to humans. It also adds another dimension to your show. More voices, more opinions. Someone's comment can be a jumping off point for a bigger discussion or another episode. It'll encourage more feedback and participation from your existing audience, and it brings authenticity to your show. This is exactly why we do this in radio. But there's more to it than just going out and recording a few answers and putting a montage together. There is a good and a not so good way to do streeters. A classic but sort of a predictable streeter segment that you may have heard on the news is, "What do you think about high gas prices?" "It's terrible. It's crazy. I don't like it." "Oh, what are we going to do about it? I just can't stop buying gas." See, that was kind of completely pointless, wasn't it? Here's how to execute a good streeter. Asking the proper question is key. You gotta get specific. But before you ask your question, it's all about the approach. You want people to talk to you and not run away. So, how do you approach someone? Here's how I did it for an upcoming episode. First off, I'm rolling as I approach them. This way I have their yes agreeing to talk to me on tape. I have my phone visible and I'm using it just like a mic to show that I'm recording. It's up to my face when I say my approach like, "Hi, how's it going?" Just a little greeting. Then I say, "Can I ask you a question about podcasting? Do you listen to podcasts?" Yes, I actually ask both questions at once. This is a bit of a qualifier. If they say no, I move on. If they say yes, it gives them a second to process it and feel comfortable about the subject. Then I ask, when you're listening to a podcast, what makes you tune out or turn it off? Nice and specific, meaning their answer can't be yes or no. I'm asking for details here. I'll bet you want to hear those details, don't you? You want to hear what people said. Well, you're going to have to wait until my next episode. Okay, really important here. Here are the streeter no-nos. Don't approach people in a lineup. Don't approach people on a restaurant patio or in a restaurant or in a mall or a private building unless you like getting kicked out by a security guard. Stick to the street. That's why they're called streeters. And you might have to be aware of the surroundings around you, where the traffic is, put your back to it, where the wind's coming from, put your back to it. Make sure your mic or your phone is positioned to you when you're talking and to your subject when they're talking. And don't shove your microphone into people's faces. By the way, you don't need a big fancy mic to do this. Your cell phone is perfect. You want your streeters to sound different from your regular sounding show. And don't get discouraged if someone says no or no thanks. It's okay. Thank them and move on. It's awkward, I know, for you and for them. A lot of people hate talking to the media or being recorded at all, but get over it. It's not you, it's them, and it's totally worth it. Now, I got one more pro tip for you coming up, but I know not everyone loves talking to strangers. I love it. Personally, I love it. My wife hates it because I always slow us down when we're walking down the street. So now I tell her that I do it for work. I get to talk to podcasters like you, perfect strangers, in my free 15-minute coaching call. Just you and me talking about your podcast. I get to talk to you. You get free advice on your podcast, and my wife doesn't have to hear it. Win, win, win. Book your free 15-minute call with me right now through my website at podcastperformancecoach.com. Okay, last point about streeters. This is another way to introduce people to your show. If I've learned anything about doing streeters for radio, it's people love hearing themselves. When is this going to be on? How can I listen? So bring some ID or a business card, or tell them to pull their phone out and like or follow you right away. Any way for them to know who you are and what you do. You never know when you might be talking to that Instagram influencer with 1 million followers. So inject a little man or woman on the street. It's different, it's fun, and it can have a big impact on your show. And I hope that's just the tip you need.
I think it depends on the podcast, because sometimes it's nice to have a feeling of like authenticity.
Kind of like this on the street. Yeah. We're raw. We're talking to real people, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Authenticity. That's live from the street, baby. More responses on my next episode. We'll see you then. And don't forget my free 15-minute coaching call. We can talk about anything you want. Book it right now at podcastperformancecoach.com. I'm Tim Walberg. See ya!